doing the introductions, if everybody could put something in the chat window. Happy Friday to you too, Lilith. Today's sugar call is actually sort of an overall purpose of sugar, sort of where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. And it's basically just feedback from you all that are on the call. But first, we're going to have an update from OEC, if there's anything they would like to add. There's a couple updates on trainings coming up. And how we're going to run this is that basically we're just going to be using the chat window, or Jose will record what people are saying. And I'm going to do a SWOT analysis, which I'll explain. We'll talk about goals for the future, any additional discussion, and then if anybody has topics for future calls. Does that sound okay with everybody? If you could just put okay, if you want to add something, if the agenda founds, yes, okay, cool. Again, I love it when I get feedback from you all, even exclamation marks and smiley faces. So thank you. Okay, we'll start off with a Dilbert cartoon. I don't know how well your resolution is. Your user requirements include 400 features. Do you realize that no human would be able to use a product with that level of complexity? Good point. I'd better add easy to use to the list. I thought this was appropriate for us. Okay, so Jose, oh, we even got a ha ha ha. Good. So Jose, if you could, he's already turned on recording. If there are questions, copy and paste them in the Word document. We are going to be doing a lot of the chat window. We have somebody on. Can you still? I put everybody on mute for the time being, but if people want to, when they're doing their feedback, you can either do it through audio or through the chat window. So Jose, if you can record all whatever people are saying verbally. Does that sound okay, Jose? Yep, thanks. Okay. So I think Monica's on the call. I thought I saw her. And so I'd like to see if OEC has any updates for us.
Good morning, everyone. This is Monica Carr from the OEC. The rest of our team is out at the CCAP conference presenting. Just a quick update on the GAE is that we have sent out all the budget amendments. We're waiting for councils to sign that second page of the amendment and return it to us. It will then go through the clearance process and will be signed by the state controller, and we are still hoping for a November 15th date. And
cool.
That's it.
That's it.
Thanks, Rick.
No, thank you. How long are you going to be on the call?
I'll be on till 10:30 or the whole hour.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
If that's okay. Rick, I know we talked about this before. If you think it's better for me to log off, I can do that too. Just let me know.
Okay. Okay. We did talk about, sometimes it's a little bit hard, to be honest, when there's this many people on a call, and especially if you're feeling at all uncertain about criticism and things like that. But I think it's better for us, in order to develop what really needs to be done, if people are honest. So we're counting on you to just, say what's on your mind. And I don't think anybody will hold anything against you, whatever you say. Okay, I'm going to give, could people state their name each time they speak? Please, question like Monica. Okay. Monica, GA budget amendments ready by 11:15, awaiting council signatures.
That's correct.
Okay, cool. All right. So this is just a reminding, we have 50 people signed up so far for the training on November 16th at Community First Foundation. We've had the meetings there before, the 58, 55 Wadsworth, and we will be having some changes to the scheduled sessions. I know we sent out sort of a draft of what our schedule will be like, but we're going to be meeting the trainers are meeting this afternoon, and we'll be making some revisions to the schedule, just so you know that. Okay? I think Liz is on the call. And Liz, do you want to talk up the Rocky Mountain Early Childhood Conference?
Sure. Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great, Liz.
Yes.
Great. So I just want everybody to get the Rocky Mountain Early Childhood Conference on your calendar, if you would. It's a little bit later in the year this year. Last year it was in February, but this year it will be on Friday and Saturday, March 17th and 18th. So St. Patty's Day, wear your green on the 17th. It will be, again, at the Colorado Convention Center. ECCLA, the Early Childhood Council Leadership Alliance, along with Denver's Early Childhood Council, and CAEYC, the Colorado Association for the Advancement of Young Children, are the three convening organizations again this year. We are thrilled at a lot of new improvements and enhancements to the conference this year. You'll be hearing more about those as we get closer to the date, but there are a lot of new tracks. We're going to be hosting a happy hour on St. Patty's Day. Lots of really wonderful improvements and just really trying to take the conference to the next level. But one aspect that I wanted this audience to know about in particular is a new track on grants management, contracting, and finance. So there will be a variety of sessions for people at a variety of different levels of experience and expertise. But it's going to be hosted by a professional grants national association. I'm sorry, I don't have the name of it at my fingertips, but they are flying in experts to help us with a lot of this work, a lot of what you all are doing already, trying to support you in that. And so I think it's going to be a very useful new facet to the conference. And so I just wanted to make sure everybody had it on their calendars, and you'll be hearing more about it in the coming days and weeks and months. The website is up and running and getting updated on a regular basis, so there's lots of good information there. If you have questions, I would start there, but please feel free to reach out to me if you have any specific questions, or I can help guide you along the way as you prepare for that conference. Okay? Thank you all.
Thank you, Liz, and I was trying to highlight that because it really is exciting to have that as part of the conference. So I did the little control B, control not, so it would highlight a not while Liz was talking. Okay, so the way that this meeting is going to go is a little bit different, is where I'm going to be asking you essentially a question, and I want you to either type in your thoughts in the chat window, or go ahead and you can put your audio on, and Jose will type it in for you. You can, I do have examples. Stacy Petty couldn't make the call, but I asked her for examples to answer each question, so, or most of the questions, so it would help you. And if sometimes when you have this kind of these questions, you'll come up with another answer later that you really want to contribute. So so feel free to send me additional feedback on this. I will be posting this on our normal Sugar Friday article, and so you can see the slides and add anything you want. Okay, so your first question is, what are your feelings right now about sugar? So don't think much. Just type in the chat box or unmute and say a word. It could be one of these 9 feelings, or it could be something else. Worry, accepting. Worry, upset. Keep going. We got 29 people. I'm hoping to get 29. Fear, worry. Worry, fear. Worry, upset, fear, and anger. All 4 of them. Wow, unhappy. Overwhelming.
Rick?
Yeah?
It's Lisa. Sorry, I can only be on the phone today.
Okay.
I would respond with ambivalent. I am
Ambivalent.
both hopeful and at times frustrated.
Okay, so Jose, make sure you get that in the window. Lisa says ambivalence, hopeful, and frustrated. I think I got them all. Okay, good job, everybody. All right, so now I have another, actually, Jose, could you write the question at the beginning? So describe sugar in one word. So you can give it an adjective. So if Jose put sugar adjective or something like that, and then you can choose from this list, you can say anything, a word that describes sugar. Special. Complicated and frustrating. Unwanted, overwhelming. Overly complicated, challenging. Functionally sound. Horrible, overwhelming. Keep going. A well-oiled system when you know what you're doing. Challenging, complicated, time-consuming.
It's a tool.
Tool. Okay, that was Lisa. Can you put that in, Jose? Time-consuming. Lisa, it's a tool. Okay. Once we get Lisa's in, keep on adding yours. Evolving. Okay, so your next question is, why do you use sugar? Or what is its purpose? So you can do more than one word, obviously, in this answer. So why do you use sugar? Because we have to. Got two of those. Feel obligated to. Data tracking. Collect data reporting. We have to. Tracking multiple communications, useful. We have to. Notes about account. We have to. These are good comments. Thanks to track outreach, data tracking, but there has to be an easier system. Managing QI funds. Uh-oh. Tracking, spending, communication, coaching, also for reporting. Reporting accurate data that will allow us to determine the cost or quality. I like that one. Effectively houses and organizes data. To track our work, purpose should be to enable a common way to roll up our data and reflect council work. We haven't heard from Lisa yet. We are waiting for Lisa to add hers, so we can go to the next one.
Sorry, I would probably echo whatever Bev said, which sounds like one of those last comments you read.
Okay. To track our work, purpose should be to enable a common way to roll up our data and reflect council work. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Good guess, Lisa.
Okay. All right. So we're going to do a SWOT, which means strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So I'm going to ask each one of those, and you'll just type in the window as well. You can do one or more words, whatever you feel. When I get to it, the strengths, and then a slide for weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Okay, so for strengths, what is the advantage over other software? So Stacy put in database for all this work and pull information we need. So what are the strengths of Sugar? Universal tool, accessible everywhere. Running reports, used by all councils. Common reporting for all councils. Can go back and review our information. Data storage, requisition, expenditure tracking. Almost always online. Almost always. Stores everything in one database. Modules allow you to gain snapshots and not necessarily have to always run a report for your info. Data storage.
The fact that it can connect with Salesforce.
So Lisa says can connect with Salesforce. Aw, Cindy, thank you. Having Rick Winter and staff to help. Thank you. Standardized data collection, tracking program data, pull common data across consoles. Okay, got a couple more. Yes, support team is a big strength. Thank you, Nicole. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next one, but if you still have some, if you want to come back and add a question, I just thought of that, add an answer to a previous one, you could always type like strengths and then put it in, even if we're on weaknesses, so we know, because you might come up with something that when somebody says a weakness, it might also be a strength. Okay, so weaknesses, disadvantage relative to other software. Data incorrect or doubt data sometimes, don't feel good about creating reports, not an accounting system, and make sure we get the message out that it isn't an accounting system. Not aligned with budget actuals. So again, what are the weaknesses? Multiple use for same terms, confusing. Dashboards don't work correctly when that was already in place. Oh, sorry, these would really be useful. Too much accounting integration when that was already in place. Not intuitive, not user intuitive. Complicated system, too many steps. Not sure where the achieved reports go. Lag in system sync to Salesforce. Inputting budgets is difficult and not intuitive. Time consuming. Unsure of user expectations. Very time consuming. Echo 3, very time consuming. Not an accounting system, but being asked to use it in a way in many circumstances. Not user friendly.
I think there's a lack of common understanding and a lack of understanding of the intent behind it that causes us some challenge.
Okay, lack of common understanding and lack of intent behind it, okay? Jose, make sure you get that for Lisa. Lack of common understanding and intent behind it causes challenge. Good job, Jose. Okay, and then agreement with Lisa. Thank you all. Does not track coaching duties for external coaches. Okay. More info needed to sync to Salesforce, like sites and with grants they are receiving. Pricey. Okay. Opportunities. So this one is elements in our environment where we can exploit the strengths of sugar. As like an early childhood counsels, how can we exploit strengths of sugar, or even in a broader environment. So lots of opportunities for making improvements, learning as we go, improve training as turnover happens. So what are our opportunities for sugar?
I think our opportunity is to learn what everybody is thinking they're trying to do, or they have a need to do that we may or may not be doing in sugar right now, or could do in a more simplistic way, or just an opportunity to have the conversations about what people are doing and trying to do.
Okay.
And how we could use the system.
Let's see how Jose paraphrases that. We'll make sure that he got it right. Making things simpler, and what are people attempting to do with this? To do
It's what are we needing to report to all of our funders, not just OEC, so that we understand all of the ways that people might need to use a system like this, and then figure out, is it possible, and would more people benefit from it even?
Okay, I'm going to go up, and I know Jose is trying to capture all that. So when he gets it, we'll read it again, Lisa, but I'm going to read some of the others. To align with coaching contractors for external coaches, mileage reimbursement, prep time, singular source for sharing and tracking data, grant writing, to make it so everyone understands the system and meet needs of every council, always an opportunity to learn the system in a better way. And here's more from Lisa, what do we need to report to all funders, not just OEC, so we understand the various use by other councils than our own. I'm sure there are useful functions that I don't understand. Think about ways to reflect the big picture, what all of the efforts are going into supporting programs and system. It is too siloed now by funding stream. Oh good, Sarah, you're taking notes too. So we got 2 people on our team to take notes. Okay, I don't want to use a complicated system like Sugar to communicate bright futures outcomes to other funders. Okay. Yeah, Jose is also going to review the recording to polish any phrasing. Email out from Sugar so that you don't have to go back and log your email communication opportunity. Rethink what is required. Do we really need everything that is being asked, as is taking huge resources to do this? So an opportunity to just see what the whole purpose is. Great comments, everybody. I think reporting is a strength and opportunity if you feel confident that you are correctly creating reports. Okay. So threats. What are elements in the environment that could cause trouble for Sugar? And Stacy's comment was funding, especially long-term funding. Sugar threats. Diabetes, I guess, is one of them. I got a little smile from Willa, thank you. Staff change, staff turnover, complicated expectations. So what else could cause a threat to Sugar in the future? Learning curve. For rural areas, unreliable internet. You're welcome, Kathleen. That it takes time. Time is a threat for lots of different pieces. Input, development, communication. What happens to all our information in the future? Oh, losing our data. Okay. Funding, including for the staff time to support it and provide technical assistance to councils. Time, funding, and expectations. Somebody just typed in data security. Ongoing public relations as frustrations continue over time. I agree. Info used the wrong way or for the wrong purpose if it doesn't accurately represent what councils do. Did we get Lisa's in?
I'm good.
You're good. Okay. Yeah, I know you're good. You're great. Okay. So this is a little bit different. Sort of we can, what's your vision for Sugar? What would you like to see it do? And if you've already said the comment, you could either say it again to sort of like double down on that, or you could add something. So what Stacy put in is track all the work we do for the state, track other work the councils do, get a place where reports can be downloaded in the QuickBooks. Go away. Oh, goodness. Smiley face. Clarifications and unified use. Align with internal workflow better. To have it be user-friendly, it would be great if it were fully integrated in the Council's work, but also if all vendors could be fully integrated in the portal Sugar as Lakeshore and Kaplan are. Customize for our councils on an individual council level. Having more support staff to enter data so coaches can be coaching rather than spending too much time entering data. My wish is that somehow not duplicating what I'm already reporting in different formats to our fiscal agent. Hopefully it will become less work instead of more work for us. Yeah, we're just going to do a brain dump, so you don't even have to type. You'll just, whatever you're thinking. I would like Sugar to be able to track statewide work to show the impact of councils. My vision is that it would simplify to track the data, which is a real purpose, not necessarily to control our work. Would like to be able to broaden so that we can track all of our work and eliminate other data systems we currently use. More user-friendly and helpful. Use data to track council efforts. Have an estimate of the funds and resources needed to increase program quality. Duplications of internal workflow. These are great comments. I appreciate them. Simplify data entry with more user-friendly interface. ECConnect embedded in the display so real-time changes can be observed. Okay. Agree with Bev's comment. Anything else? It would be awesome to see more colors in Sugar in order to be more visually stimulating. So. Okay, that's awesome comments, everybody. I am obviously going to be reading through these, thinking about it. I think this would be a great thing for the Sugar Advisory Group. We have been sort of on hiatus. So if anybody would like to just be part of just this piece on sort of compiling what we're saying, you can volunteer here or you can send me an email. So this would be just for sort of compiling what this meeting is and what the next steps are. We've got a couple more. Ooh, agree with Janazo, and then that would be helpful. The colors are a popular thing, to have a clear intent behind what we are being asked to enter. And another agreement with Bev. Okay, does anybody have anything they would like to add that I didn't ask related to Sugar past, present, or future? I don't hear any comments. Okay, this has been great. Sharon and I were talking before the meeting about how to improve the user interface and how to improve the user experience. And there are different ideas. This will help us sort of inform that information. Clear idea, we got another one, clear idea of how decisions get made about sugar. Did somebody want to say something? I guess not. Okay, who is in charge of ensuring updates and correct information? That's a good question. I am in charge of making sure that that we do the best we can with sugar. Every individual that inputs data is in charge of correct information, and everybody that looks at it should probably, if they see something weird, should talk to the person that input it or talk to me. So I think we all are.
And I think, this is Sharon, I just wanted to add as well that, over the last couple of months, we've been doing a lot more data quality assurance on the back end to run reports and try and find patterns of data entry errors or different things that are going on. And not only did we send all that information to you, and thank you for spending so much time looking through that and getting that corrected, but it's also helping us to determine what we could do for the user interface to avoid those types of patterns in the future. And so this SWOT analysis will help with that, and our historical data will help with that, because now we've been in the system for about 1.5 years, and so we can really use that to figure out what the best way is to improve, basically not having us all go back in and have to review and correct things, but rather prevent the problem from happening in the first place. So we're excited to be working on that.
Thank you, Sharon. I really appreciate it. She's wonderful to have as someone helping. I really do appreciate you being here. Well, and Bill and Dustin are wonderful to try to put all of our ideas into programming language. Okay, so does anybody have a topic that they want for future sugar calls?
So Rick, this is Bev. I don't know if it's a sugar call or something else, but I feel like one of the things we need is a clarity of how are things getting vetted. We keep getting different requirements being rolled out all the time, and it's like we need some clarity around how decisions are made and how we're vetting it to make sure that it makes sense. So I appreciate all the work that's being done, but sometimes it feels like the solution comes out isn't actually a solution that necessarily is the one that needs to happen. And so that, I don't know if that is a topic for a future call or it's in some other forum, but I think that would be helpful.
Okay. Thanks, Bev. Okay, and then we got, I want to make sure all council members are comfortable pulling the reports needed for GA and invoice. Yes, we definitely need a sugar call on that. Monica, I'll work with you so we can set the date for this next, because that's critical in our next stage, what we're doing for Race to the Top. So that's possible it will be the next sugar call. Any other calls? What I've been thinking about is on the days that we don't have a scheduled call, if I don't get a call within a few days before, I will just have a call in, especially for beginning users that want any kind of support. I know, and I'll probably even just say this is just for beginners, so you can feel like you can be really comfortable about asking questions. We don't have to have all these wonderful experts on the call. Sometimes that's intimidating for beginners. So let me know if you like that idea, and you can either send me an email or put it in the chat. Is just sort of have a call in, and certainly not everybody is required. And again, it would be just probably for beginners, unless we want to have an advanced call. We can do that too. How about getting over the wait list and application process? Yes, I'll put that as added to this wait list. And yes, beginner's call. Okay, so I will do a beginner call either next week, or if we have the GAE ready, we'll do the GAE call. Yeah, and sometimes people that really are intermediate or advanced like the beginner's call because they can start all over again. I like that, Cindy. Thank you, Monica, on the timeline for the GAE. Yeah, I'll get in touch with you so I can put out the announcement in enough time so the people that need to be on the GAE call can. So if you could get to, well, I'll talk to you offline on that. Does anybody have anything else? I always like ending meetings early. So we have 28 times 20 minutes that we'll save. Nothing I can think of at the moment. Okay, so it's okay with Lilith that we end the meeting. So everybody have a wonderful Friday.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, everybody.
Rick,
Yes?
this is Sarah. I'll email the notes to you.
Thank you. You're awesome.
Have a good weekend.
You too. Let's see where to go.